Yeah. So welcome tonight to everybody. This is awesome to see so many people on, and I know a lot of people can't make it. So it's great that we've got a recording to share with everyone. And a huge welcome to Craig Schulze, our amazing diamond director here in Australia. So we're very privileged to have you on tonight to give us a bit of a strategy session to end our year with an explosion, but kickstart our year on fire and determined. And so I'll hand it over to you, Craig, and it's all yours.
Beautiful, and very excited to be on the call tonight. And look, I've been in Adelaide a few times over the last 6 to 8 weeks, and having a good chat with Jacinta and Joe and all the leaders, and everyone that's really been kicking goals in 2016. And Jacinta just said, "Would you be open to doing a bit of a training?" And I did do a session for all the Melbourne leaders here a couple of weeks ago, and that's probably what sparked this call, or me being a guest on the call. I think you're probably doing the calls already. Look, I'm excited to go over what I shared with the other leaders. And I didn't just share it to the Melbourne group. It's been a training that I've done for a while now, and I sort of just refined it and revisited it on my tour of Africa. So when I went to Africa, I did a session called What You Need to Do and What You Need to Know, which I also did in the Philippines last week as well, and did it with a Melbourne group. And, I thought, hey, look, this here is a bit of a graph or a matrix that really does plan out the skill sets and the targets required to have success in this industry. It's not foolproof, because you may be the lucky person that strikes the customer who enrolls the next, Jacinta Carr or Joe Pedler or Aaron Biley, but, it's giving you a bit of a guide and a framework to work towards, sort of very similar to a job description. So if you went and applied for a job, very important, you're giving criteria and things that you will be doing as a part of that job. And also, if you went into the interview, you're going to get asked questions. How good are you at this? Can you do this activity? Because this is mandatory if you want to have success in the industry. So I sort of put together a bit of a plan of what I call what you need to do and what you need to know if you want to earn at the level of Sapphire Elite, at the director level and above, and the diamond director level and above. And it's really important to understand, I guess Sapphire is a really important part of our business platform. Well, executive's an important part, because executive, as a distributor, what you've done is basically be able to present an opportunity to someone that they join. And also, if you've created an executive, you've actually been able to show someone that process as well. So some form of duplication. Now, the qualification of Sapphire is you've proven that it's not a fluke, because you've had to do it at least 12 times. So we call that our first major leadership level, because you can enroll your way to Jade and Pearl, but you have to actually duplicate your way to Sapphire. So ultimately what you're trying to achieve is create a pipeline of people that can create executives that hopefully turn into Jades, that hopefully turn into Pearls, that hopefully turn into Sapphires. So if you create that as a culture and keep it simple like that, and you can get people beyond executive to Jade, and beyond Jade to Pearl, and beyond Pearl to Sapphire, you're doing all the right behaviours. It's just a matter of finding more people. So often I say, when you're launching your business, it's really important that you don't say to someone, oh, your first mission's to get Sapphire. And what they'll, human behaviour is they'll go, oh, I need 12 to get 2. And what do? They enrol 12 people and hope and 2 come out of each. And then they think that's my team and the rest is history. So what we're really trying to do is set the bar beyond that. So straight away is your first mission is to shoot for 30 enrolments as quick as you can. So we're trying to create enrolment culture. And the reason we try and do that is because the compensation plan dictates best rewards for enrolment. So in the matching bonus, if you enroll someone, you can get a 30% matching bonus on their business. So Lyndon would rather be my sponsor than me just sitting in his genealogy helping create volume, because I'm helpful doing that, but I'm highly lucrative from being sponsored by Lyndon being my sponsor. Again, you can put money in people's pocket quickly if they create a habit of enrolment culture. And it's just a really important behaviour to have. So I always say when we're launching someone's business, I say, your mission is to shoot for 30 enrolments. And I use that as a bit of a qualifier. So some people say, Craig, I want to earn full-time income. I want to do it in my first 12 months. I can put 10 to 15 hours a week in. I'm prepared to do all the training. I'm prepared to turn up to all the events. One of the qualifying questions is, I always say, based on your network in your warm market, do you believe that you can enroll 30 people? And if they sort of get a bit overwhelmed by that, I sort of know that, okay, we need to scale it back. I can help you achieve that full-time income that you're desiring, but, is 2 years a more realistic goal? Is 18 months a more realistic goal? And if they said to me, look, I literally only have 5 hours a week, I say, I can help you earn full-time income, but do you think not 1 year, but 2 years is a realistic goal? Because, I always say 1 year for full-time income, for most people's warm market, you really need to be actively building the business 15 hours a week consistently. And again, some people will do it in 6 weeks. Some people will do it in 6 years. It's not a foolproof, hey, I've worked 15 hours a week for 12 months. How come I'm not earning full-time income yet? But it's giving you a bit of a guide of what's real and realistic. So this session here is probably next level. People beyond Sapphire. So what you need to be thinking about. So I'm specifically talking about Sapphire Elite, director levels, and Diamond director and above. So we've got our full-time income, our life-changing income, and our stupid rockstar income. So I'll put together this here and we'll see how it shows up. You won't need to study it heaps other than get the idea of what I'm doing here. So I put together basically a simple graph, and this axis here is knowledge, and we're scaling up from 0 to 10. This axis here is effort, action, desire, scaling up from 0 to 10. So we're looking at windows of opportunity of success. So you can see there's 5 and 5. So Sapphire Elite, I'm going to go and talk through these zones, but I want you to visually understand, why, I'm trying to get your knowledge, effort, action, desire to be as big as possible. So if I said your knowledge is 1 to 5 and your effort, action, desire was 1 to 5, you've given yourself the opportunity to earn full-time income. If I can increase your knowledge up to, say, 7 and 8, increase your effort and action desire up to 7 or 8, you can see that window of opportunity to earn income is greater. And obviously 10 out of 10, the window opens up. The reason I take people through this because it really visually, some people need to see things visually, get a real good understanding of income opportunity. So this is a window of income opportunity. It doesn't mean much other than, you know, if you increase your skills, efforts, action, desire, and what you know, your window becomes bigger. So sometimes you have situations where they might be a 1 on effort, action, desire, but they might be a 10 on knowledge. Their window of opportunity is a thin line that way. Then you get situations where people literally know nothing. So they might be a 1 out of 10 in knowledge. They might just simply be able to say that Jeunesse is network marketing and got good products. So they're a 1. But their effort, action, desire, they just talk to every single person. So their window dimensions change as well. So my goal is, and everyone on this call, have zero excuse to be at least a 5 out of 10 in knowledge and a 5 out of 10 in effort, action, desire. Because one of the tasks that, you know, you're taking time out of your life, whether it's a Christmas party or whatever, is to be on calls like this. What I ideally like to do is get people up to 7 or an 8 out of 10. Now, 7 and an 8 out of 10 are skills that you will use for life, whether you're in Jeunesse, whether you're moved into new careers or whatever. It's all around personal development and mindset. So Jeunesse experts are 5. To be an 8, you've just started, you know, doing higher level of information. To get to a 10, basically you're, you know, network marketing off the back of your hand. You can recite nearly every company's comp plans, you know, company sales figures, you know, you're just, you know, a walking, talking network marketing genius. So we're going to talk about this matrix now on effort, action, desire, and knowledge, and what at an absolute worst case scenario, if you want to be a Sapphire Elite, you need to be able to get yourself as at least a 5 out of 10 on both of these scales. It's job description based. If you're not prepared to do the effort, action, desires, revisit your financial goals. If you're not prepared to get yourself to a 5 in knowledge, revisit your goals. But ultimately, just imagine that you're a Jeunesse expert and you're a 10 out of 10 out of effort, action, desire. You had zero interest in personal development, growth, whatever. Your window still opens up quite significantly. All right. So that's just giving you a bit of a graphical idea of what we want to achieve. And we'll start with the first window of opportunity, which is Sapphire Elite. So for someone that says to me, Craig, I want to be earning that full-time income, I say, so you're talking about that Sapphire Elite zone now. 100 cycles is $3,500 a month. To get to 100 cycles, you need to have got leaders that you're getting matching bonuses on, and you're bringing you 1 to 2 to 3 people on a month yourself. You should be earning at least $5,000 a month minimum if you're qualified Sapphire Elite. Okay, so for that conversation, I'm talking to that person. I'm saying, if you want to earn that sort of income at that level, I can help you do that. Do you think 80 personally enrolled is out of question based on your network that you currently know today? Because this is sort of job interview-ish in a way, because you've got to manage expectations. If you want to be a good leader in this industry, it's all about managing expectations. It's where a lot of people go wrong in the industry, because they say, hey, Jacinta, you're a dynamic female who's worked in the airline industry and you're really hungry and passionate and you've had your own business. All you need to do is join Jeunesse and you're going to make all this money. And the fundamental flaw is, Jacinta joins on that concept and doesn't follow through with the actions, efforts, desires to do that, doesn't make any money, is disappointed and leaves the industry. So that's, the rookie way to go about building a business. The real true way is treating it like a business and managing expectations. So if someone said to me, Craig, I just don't know enough people to enroll 80, I said, that's okay. One of your missions is that we have to go and find new people. So we're going to have to put that into our time schedule, is to find new people. For someone like myself, 80 wasn't too bad because I've been to university, I grew up in Tassie, I'd played sport, I'd had businesses, I'd personal trained a lot of people. So 80 people for me, I didn't really need to go out and find new people. But the most important thing is I was seeing beyond Sapphire Elite, so I was looking for new people from day one anyway. So importantly, everyone on this call, always look for new people. I'm always looking for new people. So, and if someone's coming into the business and they say they want to be earning full-time income and above, I say day one, you're looking for new people, because otherwise you'll get through your warm market, you'll hit, and it will hit like a thud, and then you won't be able to enroll anyone. You'll need to have these new skills to go out and find new people, and you've sort of 6 to 9 months into the journey, and you've slowed your business down to a snail pace because of it. So from day one, if someone says full-time income, I say find new people. All right. So we're looking for leaders wise. So there's enrollment of 80, but all we're looking for out of that 80 is 2 to 4 people that are doing Sapphire Elite behaviors. So we're going to talk about efforts, action, desire in a minute as a part of this matrix. And we're looking for 2 to 4 people. If you don't look through your genealogy and have 2 to 4 people that are doing the effort, actions, desires that I'm just about to talk about, your next mission is to enroll more people. So it might be find new people and enroll new people. So your time management needs to change from, for someone like me, I might be 70% helping everyone and 30% on my own business. When you're new, it should be 80% all new people, 20% helping the people that meet that criteria, that qualify for your time. It's not every enrollment. I learned that lesson in my first go in this industry. I thought my first 6 people I spent 6 equal amounts of time with. Lesson learned. I only had 1 person working the business, and I was hounding the 5 that had 0 interest. So, that's an important lesson. Work with those people that are engaged, and qualifying. Qualifying is everything. Qualifying means that they are turning up to events. They are consistently enrolling. They are consistently getting people on 3-way calls. They are doing all the right 1%ers or behaviours or whatever you want to refer to it as. They're the people that you factor into your time management system. 10 to 15 hours a week. So at this level here, if you've got a full-time job or a business or a busy family life or whatever, if you want to earn Sapphire Elite income inside of 12 months, it's 10 to 15 hours a week. It's okay if you don't do that. Just, again, revisit the time that you're putting into the business. And 10 to 15 hours a week isn't leaving your computer open with Facebook on either. It's doing behaviours like calls, trainings, launch parties. It's activities that produce a result. So whatever that may be. In some instances, it might be, that personal development stuff. So for me, when I exercise, I try and learn. That's how I learn. I'll try and learn while I'm driving from A to B. But I try and make that in time. I'm either calling people while I'm driving or I'm trying to learn. When I'm exercising, I don't want to be calling people, so I'm trying to learn. So it's about fitting things in around life that makes things work. Events, if you got the Sapphire Elite vision and mindset, etc., your mandatory events are the university, the conference, and the international convention. So if someone's talking to me about becoming a Sapphire Elite type of leader, and they're not turning up to the national convention, the international convention, they're not qualifying for NUSA, hey, that's okay. We just need to revisit your goals and where it is that you want to be so we can work together. So everything's always, it's okay. We just need to revisit, because you don't want to, offend someone by saying, oh, well, you're never going to get there then, because that's just not going to work. You just simply say, hey, that's okay. We just need to revisit, just to manage your expectations. Is 2 years okay for your time frame? So it's all about reassessing and assessing where people are at based on how you work with people. In regards to skills, you need to be able to tell your story that is at a level that people will join you because of it, because people join people in this industry. And if, we try and get people to tell a 2-minute testimony at an event, but that's one skill you got to develop. But the other one is be able to tell your entire story. So you can sit down and meet someone face to face and you say, hey, I understand totally where you're at the moment. I was there too. I was once an engineer and I hated working in the corporate world. I hated the concept of 9 to 5. So I went out to follow my passions, and that was a personal trainer, blah, blah, blah. And I tell my story where people are going, wow, this guy is, an impressive person. So, go on, if you don't feel that your story is something that will attract people, we'll go and rehearse it with an upline leader, someone that you work with, someone that can say, hey, I know you, you should actually say this, 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 and this, and that will attract people, so that's a skill. If you want to become that Sapphire Elite type of income earner and you can't tell your story, and you would say, hey, I'm across there, that's one of those criterias that you have to make a tick. Another one is you can present the Gen S story. So you can tell it right back from how, Randy launched, worked in the computer engineering world right until where we are today. Because, again, it's not what you say sometimes, it's how you say it. But if you can recite that story, you're going to have a skill that's going to help convert. All the skills that I'm talking about here are going to help you convert prospects. So, people are going to assess this business opportunity like they'd assess buying a house, like they'd assess buying a franchise, like they'd assess buying a share. They're going to assess it based on the owners, based on the financial position of the company, based on the product relevance, based on the uniqueness of the product, based on the returns of if you put in effort in, what type of money is possible, and how far does this product go to? So their global platform. We have a very, very, very good story to tell in this industry, and it's all backed by facts and figures, not hype and hearsay. It's all, so you need to be able to recite that. That's a skill that if you can't do now, it's okay. You need to be able to develop that skill, because if you want to get to Sapphire Elite and above and you can't do that, it's a big cross. The next skill is vision. So being able to share where the company's going and where you're going, again, people join people, so they want to see where you're going to be working in the next 5 years. So it's, casting your own vision. I always look at the best leaders in this industry, and if you hear them talk and you hear them tell their story and you really assess and analyse what they're saying, the best leaders in this industry are the best people at casting vision. And that's, a skill that I think if you want to get to that full-time income and above level, you need to be able to do that well. Edifying someone, that's another skill. So these are starting to get to, if you're going to a job description and you want to get the job, well, they're mandatory. They're not avoidables. And at Sapphire Elite level, it's not about assessing time on whether you do Jeunesse or not. Jeunesse is sort of around what you're doing with your life and your family. You'll bump into someone in an Uber on your way to a Christmas party and you'll be talking about Jeunesse and how did you get involved in Uber, blah, blah, blah. It's not whether you're doing one thing or another. It's sort of just somehow integrates into your lifestyle. So in regards to what you need to know, most importantly, you need to be a Jeunesse expert. So a Jeunesse expert is not someone that just knows the product, the company, the owners, the comp plan, the global platform. They need to be able to tell the story of Jeunesse, like what I was talking about, from right back from how Jeunesse came about, which really started from Randy being an entrepreneur and, going through a career of success to get into where he is. This session's not to be, educating people on that. That's something you need to go and work out yourself. But also those hangouts that Scott Lewis does on a monthly basis, they are priceless for information. So I get a lot of my facts and figures on how markets are going, how many diamonds are coming on, how many countries are launching, how many products. Well, a lot of it is coming through that forum. I'm always looking at updates from the company. It's Jeunesse expert in lots of ways. Know when all the events are on. You'll go and research when, different leaders and their stories. You sort of, it's beyond just knowing the comp plan and the facts and figures, etc. It's knowing pretty much everything. All the apps and tools that are available. Everything. You're not sort of leaving an important piece of the puzzle on the table. So that's sort of what you need to know and what you need to do if you are working with. And here I'm not talking to anyone here as where you're at today, because I'm sure everyone here has bigger visions than Sapphire Elite. But it's giving you a bit of a framework of how you can be working with your leaders in your business and your team and how you're qualifying people. And when someone says to me, Craig, I'm not progressing, I want to progress. And, I'll start going through this with them. I'll start saying, look, let's talk about your last 10 enrollments, when they were and where they come from. And often you find that in the last 90 days, that there's been a bit of a dry spell. And, and then if they haven't been turning up to events or, that we haven't been doing regular calls, et cetera, I always revisit this type of conversation. Remember what we said at the start? I'll be able to help you achieve great success. You told me that you would like to be earning full-time income within 12 to 24 months. Did you say that? Yes, I did. Did I say I can help you do that? Yes, you did. Did I say that these would be what's required? And if you don't do it, that's okay. We can revisit the time or your financial. Yes, I did. So you sort of like are using it as a bit of a coaching framework as well. And we'll move on to the next zone. But importantly, and this is something that is really important. You don't do the knowledge and effort, action, desire bit. If you're at the moment from 0 to 100 cycles, you don't sort of just stop it here. You're doing the activities of whatever box that you fit you're going to be in. So, when I talk about the diamond director level, I'd already flown to the US and met the owners and looked them in the eye and before I'd enrolled a person. That's what I call a diamond-based activity. I hadn't even become a distributor or an executive or handed my credit card over yet to do it. But I was always, going to be doing diamond activities from day one. So I was touring Australia. I was enrolling, all the activities that you need to be doing for the big box, they were being done from day one. I didn't start doing them when I got to 100 cycles. No, I didn't then add these new skills and efforts, action, desire in. They were being done from day one. But if someone has their window or their cap set at that type of income, that's, giving you an idea of if you're not prepared to do that and you're not prepared to learn that, you're sort of probably going to struggle to progress beyond. So with the director level, it's the knowledge side of things is Jeunesse Expert, but it's simple, generic personal development stuff. So it's, it might be attending seminars, it might be reading books, it might be listening to generic audios, it might be Eric Warre's stuff. Aaron and I in the Getting Started training list 10 books to watch, to read, etc., etc. Could be getting on that MLM Nation, listening to leaders tell their stories, etc. Whatever it is, but it's basically developing your skills and your mindset. And that's important to progress to the next level because if you remember, I did that session, The Journey of an Entrepreneur, and I was talking about the journey of success is sort of goes up like that. And as you're going through the journey, you have peaks and troughs, and then peaks and troughs. So the first trough you fall in is usually for your own business. You'll come out of that because of your mindset and you'll get to another peak. Your second trough is because your leaders have fallen into their first trough. All right. So your mindset and your skills and your knowledge and your development, when you're in that trough, will be very well equipped to deal with your leaders that you're trying to work with and grow and build when they fall into the first trough. And again, it gets back to managing expectations. So this part of the equation, this general mindset, personal growth development is just important because it'll help you better at answering objections. It'll help you better dealing with issues that come up as your business grows. When you're having a bad day, a good mindset always carries you forward, et cetera, et cetera. So there's no extra Jeunesse stuff. It's just generic mindset. In regards to director level effort, action, desire, you're probably emerging from a part-time person nearly in transition. It's a 15 to 30 hour gig. So, you're sort of 100 cycles and you're starting to go, right, I've got a good job, but I see this as my future and I'm going to have to readjust my time frames of how I do things because more time's going to have to go into your Jeunesse business at that level. Your leaders, again, enrollments should be defaulted 80 to 100. So if someone's saying to me, I want to earn 6 figures and above residually, I'll say, well, do you think based on your current network and people that trust you, like you, respect you, do you think that you're capable of producing 100 personally enrolled people? again, it's all about qualifying. And we're looking for 4 to 10 leaders. So if you're at 80 and you've got one person that's enrolled 30 and 2 pearls, you need more enrollments because you don't have 4 to 10 people on their journey. All right, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the people that see the vision. So 4 of my personally enrolled have led to 90% of my business out of 150 personally enrolled people. All right, 20 have engaged in the business, but 4 have found the leaders, and I don't, one of those team legs through Brody end up leading on my 7th level to Angela Lasenti, who went Emerald. So, one person's ended up finding, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leaders. So it's not just 4 people, but the important thing is you're looking at 4 out of 150, or the best part of 150 people. So, that's, give you a bit of an idea of, we're talking about, and I have over 100 Sapphire Elites too, so I have a lot more than 4 to 10 people working in the business. But, point is, if you don't have 4 to 10 people really treating this heavily seriously, as in they've all enrolled 30 people, they're all turning up to events, have already got their event tickets, they're already, doing all these qualifying things that I'm talking about, keep enrolling. The trap is people go into management mode because they think they've got the team to take them there. But the reality is I only have a leader if they're doing the behaviours that fit into that Sapphire Elite box, the Director box and the Diamond Director box. A good example is Elle Salzone, who lives in Adelaide. She's come on. She's not even Sapphire yet, but she's doing at least director-based activities because she's enrolling a lot. She's travelled to Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth again, international, so she's doing director and diamond director behaviours, and she's a pearl, so that's sort of giving you a bit of an idea of, it doesn't matter where you fit into the equation, you're counted as that type of leader as long as you're doing those behaviours until you stop doing them. Once you stop doing them, you drop out of I can't count you as one of the 4 to 10. So events at director level, you're started to do a bit of national stuff. So you might have a team in Perth that you say, hey, if you get to Sapphire, I'm going to plan 3 months ahead and I'm going to be at that event there, and we'll spend 3 days and we'll do 2 or 3 launches, and we'll, so you're doing a bit of national stuff at, once if you're Ruby, Emerald, Vision, you will potentially have a few teams sprouting up internationally, and you may consider going to a market en route to an international convention. For example, Bangkok International Convention, if you had a team in Singapore and you were director level activities because you want to be earning that level and above, you plan ahead now and you say, right, if I have 4 Sapphires in that market and we're doing weekly calls and they're qualifying for my time, mentally I'm planning on flying to Singapore for 3 days, onto the convention in Thailand, and my plan is for the 4 leaders there to be able to drag 6 to 10 people with them from that region there. That's how you're thinking once it's Ruby and Emerald type of mentality and business. I'm not saying go and book yourself on 4 national tours just for the sake of it. You got to have people there first. So make sure that you've got the people to work in those regions. Brody didn't have a team in Adelaide. Now he does, and he's been there 3 times in the last 6 weeks. Angela goes to most national cities because she's got people in most national cities. You go to where it makes sense, plug into the system as it is until you have the people there. But if you're talking about that as your goals, you need to think like that. All right. You're enrolling better leaders. So on this knowledge scale, the same sort of thing applies. If your leadership level is a 1 out of 10, guaranteed the people you bring onto the business is 1 out of 10, because you're basically, all you're saying is, hey, we've got awesome products, 30-day money back guarantee. No one's going to join because of an amazing business opportunity. They're going to just join on this 30-day money back guarantee. You progress up to a 5 and you can talk generically about Jeunesse and we've got good products, etc. You enroll customers and people that are really interested in building a business. You develop your leadership up to a 6, 7, and 8. All of a sudden, you start enrolling people that are coming out of good corporate careers. They've got another business, etc., etc. So you'll find as your leadership level grows, your conversions will get better, but also the quality of people that you seem to meet. It's just the way the world works. You'll start enrolling, people that are at that level. But if all you know is that we've got youth enhancement products and there's a 30-day money back guarantee, you've got a heap of customers at best. Development of leaders at that level there, you're starting to produce people that are progressing beyond Sapphire to 50 cycle Sapphires, producing Sapphires that are, Sapphire Elite. It's just a matter of time. So director level staff are people that are launching people's businesses, are helping them on a 3-way call. They are, running team meetings and, setting the example. And as a result of that example, leaders are starting to grow and develop as well. And they're now doing 3-way calls for their team. So in the first zone, most people are on the 3-way call as they've invited a guest, or they've just enrolled someone and they want to do an intro call. So they might be doing a 3-way call that way. Once you're in this next zone here, and if you want to be in that zone, you need to be someone that's good enough at doing the 3-way call for your leadership group. So that's giving you a bit of an idea of that second zone. The last zone, I guess, is we're talking 10 out of 10, sky's the limit, money can be absolutely at anything, considering, anyone that's pretty much double diamond and above is in the multi-million dollar residually a year income zone. But there's no job involved. There's no other business involved. You're just full-time traveling, for Jeunesse. And some people fear what I do or Aaron does, or they say, look, I just don't want to do that. It's not mandatory. It's done by choice, but I'm doing the choice because I want to get from A to B a lot quicker than a lot of people. I see the timing of Jeunesse and I'm going, I don't want to wait another 5 years and then go, I knew this was going to be massive and I just didn't really give it my best shot. So, 26 weeks on the road the last 2 years, and it's paid off. But don't feel that, gee, I just don't want to be on every second plane around. It's not a requirement. It's, if you look at diamonds, there's a lot of US diamonds that barely even leave America. There's a lot of, the Thai diamonds they're only got their diamond off Thailand. So it's not, don't fear that. Probably Lyndon, Aaron, and myself travel more than any other diamond because we cover all corners of the globe. But that is you're going to international launches, you're keynote speakers of big events, you've got international teams, at that level there, that's just happening. Your default is someone says, Craig, I want to be a diamond. I'll say, do you think that you're capable of enrolling 150 people? I want to scare someone into knowing that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm going to scare them into going, look, 150 people, wow. I don't even have 150 phone numbers. I don't have 150 people on Facebook. But do you really want to get to diamond? Yes, I do. Well, you're going to have to enroll 150 people, which probably means you're going to have to meet 1,000. So, on to it. So, every other skill that I've talked about are pretty much mandatory. There's nothing else there. Like the skills that you've developed at Sapphire Elite, they're the skills that carry you right through. Once people get to Sapphire Elite, the only reason they don't follow through or make it all the way is something's happened. If you will have experienced everything possible in the business, probably from 50 cycle, like a consistent 50 cycle business on. It's just a matter of, being that consistent, persistent person, enrolling regularly, helping people enroll. As I guess, even at my level now, like my enrollments are probably down to 2 a month now because I'm always finding, I've got to find new people. So my next enrollment's someone I don't know at the moment, pretty much. It's harder. It's harder. You need more skills. You need a lot of patience. You need to have a good follow-up program. Everything. Once you've been through your warm market, requires better skills to be able to get the results. So the only reason people probably don't progress from a 50 cycle business beyond is just through frustration, because they've done everything that needs to be done to be a diamond. Probably they haven't created directors at that time, which is a challenge in its own right. But your best friends quit, your parents have quit, you've got up to 50 cycles and then you've dropped back down to 15. So that's life and business. When I was in the gym game, when I moved into this industry here, if I didn't bring 20 new clients in a month for my gym PT, guess what? I had 20 going out the door, so I'm behind. So when you buy shares in the share market, they don't go up 100% all the time. They go through cycles of going up and down and up and down, and progressively, you like to see a constant trend of them going up. The property market's the same. So, just understand that in business, everything goes through peaks and troughs, and that's life, relationships, peaks and troughs, everything. So, the biggest thing is if you've got to 50 cycles, if you've got to Sapphire even, and you've created executives and you've enrolled people, there's no other thing that you need to be doing, because just enroll more people. And that's where people complicate the business. And I guess while we're on the call, and probably may have gone longer than you wanted, but I think this is probably what you want. And I'm going to have to probably do a new Noosa presentation, because I'd set what I've just given you all up for my talk. So I'll have to find some new content now. But you know, like this industry, $180 billion industry, and there's always, it's a good sign when you see, you know, new companies, because that just means that, you know, the industry is popular. And, you know, 10 years ago, when there wasn't as many companies, there was a lot more skepticism in the marketplace because people were not hearing about new opportunities all the time, whereas now everyone's getting exposed and everyone understands that this is the way you do business. It's just probably not the right time for them at the moment. Whereas when there's new companies coming in, you know, welcome it. Just know that statistically, Jeunesse is doing incredibly well. If Jeunesse was, you know, dropped back to $500 million and there'd been an ownership split and they hadn't brought a product out for, you know, 18 months, and, you know, you start asking questions. But Jeunesse has already done 1.5 billion this year. It won't keep going up and up and up, but, you know, Isogenics has been around for 15 years and I think last year did about 800 million. Good company, but it's growing at a slower speed. You know, that's okay too. So they're doing well on their own journey. We're doing well on our own journey. Yasan has been around for a long time. They're doing well on their own journey. It's all positive and healthy, and just know that, you know, Jeunesse is going incredibly well, and you've just got to make it work for yourself. So I think I've gone over it all, so I don't know if you want me to cover anything else or well, wrap it up.
I think that was awesome, Craig. I'm really grateful to you for your honesty and just for being just so, I guess, natural with how you have explained, you know, just about the knowledge, action, effort and desire. And it's the nuts and bolts that sometimes we skip over and we do overcomplicate it. So it's just, I really appreciate it. So I don't know whether you're open to anyone asking questions. Would that be okay with you tonight?
Just on that, for some people we use it as their coaching framework, so how they qualify and mentor people. Some people can use it for a self-assessment, a good, hard, honest look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not good at edifying people, get good at it. If you're not good at telling your story, get good at it. If you can't tell the Jeunesse story, get good at it. You know, they're just basic skills. I mean, Joe's played high-level football, and if you can't mark and handball and kick, you know, you're not playing at that level of football. It's just, they're just mandatory skills that you need to be good at. And these are the skills to be good at network marketing. You need to be good at these basic fundamental skills. So some people might sit there and go, look, I really need to up my skills in those 4 things. Some people might question their commitment and say, well, you know what, I really want to be Sapphire Elite and I've got the skills to do it, but am I really committing? I've only enrolled 5 people, but I keep saying I want to do this. And, you know, it's assess it for what it is. And it's okay if you have only enrolled 5 and you think you're only going to enroll another 10 in your journey, but just don't have a sort of default, I should be earning this type of money.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, take it for what it is.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Has anybody got questions? And then you can just unmute yourself if you've got any questions for Craig. It's certainly, like, for me, from my personal point of view, it's definitely a great time of assessment and knowing where I need to sharpen skills. So I really appreciate just, you know, we know it, but we know that we need to, you know, fine tune things. So that's awesome. Anybody else? There's silence in the house.
I just wanted to say thanks, Craig. I really enjoyed that a whole lot. There's a lot of aha moments. But one thing I really took away from that is that we talked about the 80-20, and I think for myself it's really easy to get in your management mode and to do the enrollment. I mean, I probably enroll 3 to 5 people every month, but I haven't found a whole lot of runners. So it was encouraging to hear that tonight, to keep going, because you just don't know where they come from. And yeah, it's just fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you are a good enroller, someone that's, that for you, Penny, that's been in the business for a while and in the industry for a while, if you are bringing consistent numbers, that's awesome. And it's like farming. I would rather have, 1,000 seeds in the ground to try and grow a crop than 5. Even if your 1,000 seeds haven't found those 4 to 10 people yet, you're giving yourself more chance. So you always got to think of Angela Lucenti. Okay, I enroll Brody, Steve, who enrolls Ellen, who enrolls a customer, who enrolls Angela. So it's a 6 or 7 generation sort of journey. But the point is, a customer enrolled at Angela, so that could have happened out of one of my other, 100 odd people that haven't done anything in the business. So if you do have lots of customers, you do have more chance of just finding those few people. So always everything gets down to quality over quantity. So I would rather one diamond sitting at the Highway Hotel and no one else in the room than 1,000 customers. But your chances of finding those people, if you can consistently bringing in your 3s and 5s a month, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Your biggest problem is when you're not bringing any in a month and you don't have your 4 to 10 leaders or your 2 to 4 leaders. It's a pretty lonely, frustrating business to be involved in.
That's very good.
Awesome. Thanks. Has anybody else got any questions or comments for tonight? No, all good.
Could I ask one question? Sorry, I don't mean to hog or anything, but I do have a question, because you talked about, right at the beginning, you mentioned about being executive, and I can see that, if you're an executive producing machine, you're going to achieve quite a lot. So in saying that, even though you bring on a customer, do you focus on the fact of getting a customer to bring on the 2 as well, to help them become executive, or just if they're a little bit more business minded straight away?
Oh, look, I mean, yes, that's, the executives are building blocks of your business. If someone just wants to be a customer, that's okay. I don't try and force them into becoming an executive, because I want them to want to engage in the business. So, if they're mentally framed up to being a customer, and I force them into doing the business, the chances are sometimes they may not want to. So it's all gets back to the original conversation, and it's respecting what they want. So if someone says to me, Craig, I just want to be a customer, I say, great, try the product for 30 days. I'll be in touch just to see how you're going 2 weeks in or 10 days in. Then at the end of 30 days, I'm ringing them up because I want them on auto, making sure that they're going to follow through with their auto ship, etc. But at that point, if they say, look, I really love those products, they're amazing, I'll ask the question, is that something you could see yourself promoting the business? And if they say, not really, I might then go and, okay, do you know anyone that might be interested? Because I'd love to be able to share the product with lots of other people, and I'll ask them for referrals. So that in that situation, I'm then giving myself a chance for more personally enrolled people. But, I hate seeing situations where customers become an executive and they enroll someone that wants to build the business, and they've got no team support and they've got no enroller support. So if someone really wants to be a customer, but they do want to bring 1 or 2 people on, I just at least make them enroll everyone down their shared leg side with their sponsor. So if they drop out, they're not an executive. Like they've got at least an upline that's going to put people down that side of their business. So if someone specifically says the word customers, that's how I deal with that situation, a little bit more strategic. Constant reviewing that situation too, because sometimes it's timing, and customers 6 months down can be great distributors. So
yeah, excellent, good response. Thank you. All right, any other comments or questions from any of you others? Yeah, Liv. Thanks, Craig. I could listen to you all night. So many pearls of wisdom. I love it. It's been really, really good. Thank you so much, Craig. It'd be really great to catch up with you a bit more often on our team calls, because everyone just gets so much value and out of listening to you and your seeing your success. It's just so great. So thank you so much once again for your time. Really appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks.
See you soon.